Well, here's another question. Are you planning to visit China? If you are, you must watch our next report, and you must know about some individuals, like Michael Kovrig. He's a Canadian NGO worker who was detained by China in 2018 on charges of espionage. Cheng Lei, an Australian journalist at CGTN who was arrested in August last year and accused of leaking state secrets. Richard O'Halloran, an Irish businessman who has been held without any charge in China for more than 2 years now. Now, I have a long list, but for the moment, 3 names should suffice. The list of foreign detainees in China is exhaustive. Foreign nationals have been arbitrarily detained because most of them are citizens of a country engaged in a diplomatic spat with China. A new report says that now a growing number of people, academics, journalists, vloggers, activists, former diplomats, they're all wary of traveling to China because of such arbitrary detentions. Here's a report.
In December 2020, the US State Department issued this travel advisory. It asked people to reconsider traveling to China and Hong Kong due to increasing arbitrary enforcement of laws. The warning came barely 2 months after the detention of Cheng Lei, a Chinese-born Australian citizen who used to work at CGTN. In March 2020, when the Wuhan virus was still spreading rapidly in China, Cheng Lei wrote this. In China, the belief, do as I say, not as I do, runs deep in public office. Serve the people goes the slogan. Reality is the opposite. This post landed her in trouble. Cheng Lei was arrested and charged with leaking state secrets. Her arrest coincided with a diplomatic spat between China and Australia. She is in detention. Nobody knows where China has been keeping her. Bill Bertels and Mike Smith, 2 other Australian journalists working in China, managed to escape as Chinese officials tried arresting them the same month. They sought refuge in their country's diplomatic missions. Finally, they were allowed to leave. Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor were not so lucky. These 2 Canadians were arrested on charges of spying in December 2018. Their detention has been called a bargaining chip. It could help leverage the release of Meng Wanzhou, the Huawei executive who has been held in Canada. Then we have the case of Richard O'Halloran. This businessman from Dublin flew to China in February 2019 to resolve a dispute between his employer and Chinese authorities. He was arrested without any charges and has remained in prison ever since. Ireland has no obvious clash with China. It has issued a warning for its citizens. They could face detention in China if they have a business dispute with the Chinese. The pandemic put the spotlight on China's arbitrary detentions. But the practice is not new. China's hostage diplomacy dates back years. Between 2009 and 2020, more than 50 cases involving foreigners detained in police custody have emerged. Out of this, 28 people were accused of being involved in sensitive activities. 3 of them have been sentenced to death. Most of these cases are seen as China's retribution for geopolitical skirmishes. A growing number of foreign citizens in China now fear for their safety. In the recent survey conducted by the Foreign Correspondents Club of China, 40% of the respondents said their internet accounts were targeted in attempted hacks in 2020. 87% felt their WeChat accounts were snooped upon. 40% said they were followed. And 30% claimed they were forced to show or delete data on their devices by Chinese authorities. But ask China and it will tell you that it's only following the rule of law.
China is a country with rule of law. Any individual in China must abide by Chinese laws. We have always welcomed foreign media and correspondents to do interviews and report in accordance with the law and regulations. And we will continue to provide convenience and assistance. What we oppose is ideological bias targeting China. We are opposed to fake news done in the name of press freedom and actions that violate the ethics of journalism.
Bureau Report, WION World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.